This morning I woke up to one of the worst sounds any RVer ever wants to hear. What was it? Stay tuned. Well, welcome back all you RV enthusiasts. What could be the worst sound besides a mechanical sound coming from your RV that you never want to hear? Alex Trebek, cue the music, please. Let's give him a moment. Well, if you said a rodent chewing on the inside of your coach, inside the walls, or inside period, that's what this video is all about. I woke up this morning. Well, I just was awoke to my cat. Hear that? We got a, oh no, we got a damn mouse. Oh crap. Julie, wake up. And my cat jumped across the bed, and I thought, you know, whatever, feeling a little frisky this morning. So I laid there a second, and all of a sudden, I hear this chewing noise, and I look down at the foot of my bed, and my cat is looking at the walls and the ceiling. I knew right away I had a major problem. If you've had troubles with rodents in your home, in your RV, wherever, you know that they can create a living hell for you. For something that's this big, with 4 legs, cute little whiskers, it can set your RV into a shop for months, especially these days during all this COVID crap. I literally laid in bed for about another 60 to 90 seconds as soon as I heard that. And I flew out of bed. I woke up Julie, scared the living bejesus out of her, because seriously, this is major. This is something that you know, can destroy an RV. I'm not sure if it's a mouse or a rat. It doesn't really matter at this point. Chewing is chewing. This area that I heard the chewing is right next to my master panel. Can you imagine if they just started chewing and you had to find the problem in there? This is an area that if they get to, it can cost thousands of dollars to fix. These wiring harnesses are very, very costly. You know, if they chew through them, you can't just splice them and then just, you know, put them back together. These micro wires, you know, these wiring harnesses normally have to be swapped out if they're damaged. Second is our wiring system outside the coach in one of the bays. Oh, behave. Either the first bay or the second bay. You do not want any type of rodent entering that area. So it doesn't matter. Wiring is wiring. Also, it can get into the engine bay. I don't know about all of you out there, but I don't know how many times living in the country, especially on the old homestead where we were at, you know, we had, you know, turkeys, chickens, ducks, geese, emu, that drew in a lot of rats. And due to the fact that the rats always, you know, were around the areas that we fed all the animals. And the rats in the wintertime would get up into the motor compartments of our vehicles. And we had several nightmares, which is pretty much the same thing here. That's why this is so important to me, is because this big motor coach, it's 42 feet long. And there's some areas to where there is wiring harnesses that are running front to back, and if something chews somewhere between the stem and the stern, it could be a horrible disaster. The first thing that I've had to do is consider every area that a rodent can get into the bottom of the motor coach. But, you know, you don't only just block off points of entry, you have to also put in deterrents. The brand Tomcat has all types of products, which, here's a clip of what, you know, we ran down to Tractor Supply and, you know, invested 150, 200 bucks, whatever. Wiring is a very, very hard issue to trace and to track. That's one of the last things that we want. We have all kinds of deterrents around our coach. We have fire ants around here, man. Julie and I, we make sure we stay up on ant deterrent, that's for sure. Snake deterrent, that's a given, but ant deterrent, can you imagine if you had a fire ant infestation inside of your RV? Okay, see what's going on here? They are now on the warpath. This is what attacked me while I was working on the generator. And you know it. I only had probably a dozen of them on me, and I was jumping around like a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. You know what I'm saying? RVs normally have entry points to where hoses and electrical lines, you know, come into your coach. I had to manufacture metal plates in order to cover all my bases. Those particular plates protect my water control system. And the water control system is PEX pipe, plastic tubing. I've seen the warm water get chewed. I haven't seen the cold water yet. It's like they're attracted to the heat, obviously. Like in one of our bays, we have on a separating wall, we have slide doors, which allows us access into the motor compartment and so forth. Those doors, when we went on our road trip to Oregon, they vibrated open to where a mouse could get in there. And this particular bay, I had, well, matter of fact, I've got it sitting right here. This is a $350 motor that I sell in our business. And look at there. This was stored in one of the bays We put this in the bay before we went on our road trip, and we just found it today. Now, fortunate for me, these wires can be spliced and repaired, and then, you know, I can put this thing right back to new. But this is a perfect example right here of what they can do to your RV. Nightmare. Line of defense. If they get into your bays, then the next thing they do is they feel the heat from the inside of the coach coming from those plumbing points, and that's when they will start working up, and next thing you know, you're gonna have unwanted guests. Here's a perfect example. Rodents in the country, again, like I explained, they're very common. Well, we were constantly battling them in our home. One night, middle of the night, this is a true story. I didn't make this up. I put my hand, you know, I'm all tucked in, you know, all snuggled. Grab my pillow, you know, I'm feeling good. Put my hand under my pillow, and I felt fuzziness, fur. Not kidding. I kind of snapped out of my sleep, and it hit me. I had a guest in my bed. I grabbed that. It was a mouse. I grabbed him and I threw him and I slammed him against the wall. I don't know. I got up and he was kind of, you know, kind of trying to shake it off. Well, needless to say, you know, life ended for that guy. Just natural response, obviously. But that's a worst case scenario. Can you imagine being in your RV and you wake up to having a mouse or a rat in your bed? That messes with you. Think about it. One thing that we learned on the homestead is, after investigating and talking to other homesteaders, is they don't like peppermint oil. Peppermint oil, you know, is great for a lot of different insects, rodents, and so forth, snakes. It's just too strong for their senses. They don't like it. You soak cotton balls in peppermint oil, and you can take them and you can put them in a sandwich bag and pop holes in it. We put them in our air ducts. We put them in our wiring compartments, under our sinks. We put them everywhere. We put them at entry points is what we do. And now, obviously, if you're going to use peppermint oil, you can't be allergic to it, and you have to like the smell, because you will obviously get a hint of peppermint. And in the spray bottle, we just spray all the entry points. But in places like under the sinks and so forth, we put them in the baggies, and then we tape the baggies in place. If you do go on a road trip and you forget to take them out, they're going to stay where you put them. So that's pretty much what we've done. And when you think about it, rodents carry disease like any other wild animal, or, you know, they have the potential of carrying diseases. You don't necessarily want that type of situation entering your coach and making you sick. And another thing that we have here is ticks. Ticks carry Lyme disease. Ticks are not fun. Ticks literally eat into you and burrow and think about it. Little dude eating into you. Freaking nightmare, man. I made this video is to potentially bring an issue that you haven't had to experience yet, bring it to your attention to where you can be proactive and not have to go through this. My problem is right now, they're in there. I know it for a fact. They're chewing, they're creating damage and destroying a very expensive motor coach. So I have to get them out now. I have to do everything that I can. If I hear one more, little dude running here or there or munching going on, I'm tenting it. I'm gonna tent it, I'm gonna fumigate it, and make sure that anything that's alive in this coach is dead. So there you go. I hope this helps some of you out there not have to go through this. I hope you see this. And for all you out there that have had issues with this and you've had to address it, please do me a favor. Put it in the comments. Help everybody else out there with other ideas that I haven't brought up in order to defend. Sorry about that. Our geese are going off in our pond. We have Canadian geese and pelicans as of late been entering the pond. And the local residents here act like that. So sorry about that. There's one thing that I have to bring up, and that's the electronic devices. We've tried the electronic devices before in our homestead, and being on a homestead with rodent issues, we had a lot of cats. We noticed that a couple of our cats were acting kind of schizo, and after we started looking into it, where they were acting schizo was in the areas that we had these electronic devices. And come to find out, this is like, to some cats or dogs, it's like psychological brainwave torture. When we finally disconnected the electronic devices, they went back to normal. Thanks for watching. You guys stay safe out there. I want to say thank you, like always, to all of the veterans out there, all of the active military that's out there fighting for our country. Times are strange right now, and you guys are putting your lives on the line for our safety. We love you. We appreciate you. Law enforcement, you rock. Thank you for keeping our streets safe.
说不说时尚的同时招来？我问你呢，说不说？说不说？说不说？说不说？不是那个，不是，别说话，说不说？说不说？你倒是。